Hello everyone and welcome to the Extreme TIG channel. So for today's video guys, I'm going to work on a 4-inch X-ray strong urea grade pipe. It's going to be a back purge, X-ray quality. I'm going to show you a couple tricks and tips how to do it, the best practice, a little bit of advice. Maybe you can apply this to any urea grade. Is pretty much as a 316. As you can notice here, I got 3-inch and a 4-inch, 3 mil and a 4 mil gap. It's pretty much loose 1/8. This is gonna do. Got 4 tacks, 3 tacks in this case. I'm just gonna leave it to purge a couple minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. That's ideally. And with the purge, I go around 30 liters RPM, liters per minute. This is magic number. 30 works great even for bigger diameter pipe. Usually my rule of thumb is 10-inch and above. I usually insert like 3 hoses of purge. I let it purge for 20 minutes, half an hour, it all depends. And this is a torch I got from my buddy. Shout out to Nathaniel Cause from Louisiana. Thanks buddy, appreciate it. This is a really amazing torch, heavy hitter brand, works really great. This torch I was looking for a long time. You can really run hot, and it's not gonna get really hot like those regular 150 amps torch or 200 amps no water cooled torch. So once again, thanks Nathaniel, but I appreciate it. As you can notice, 2522 is ER rod for TIG. It's a urea grade, and a big blue for 400 welding machine. So for my torch, I'm using a cup size 8 1/8 thoriate tungsten. This is an air-cooled torch. It's really amazing. If you guys can check it out, their brand on online, heavy hitter. If you got opportunity, get that torch. Is gonna make your life easier. So the little tips and tricks I'm gonna show you here on this pipe. I'm gonna weld in between tacks. I'm gonna start on the bottom first. This is just showing you pretty much it's gonna be a lay wire technique until I hit the top. Usually what I do, I usually the section part on the top, I always go like deep side to side, just to prevent you know, grapes, and it doesn't sag down too much. And this is lay wire technique. Just keep the wire inside and stretch that puddle, burn those edges. I always go with a feather edge on my prep. I just kind of have a nice and clear picture of what's going on. You can put a little bit of length. It all depends from the habit and what do you prefer. Okay, as I said, I did start on the bottom first, and I did in between 3 and 12 o'clock. So the first idea is just weld in between tacks. Don't cut the tacks yet. Weld first in between, and once you're done, then we're gonna switch to grind them out. The good idea to do that is it makes you weld faster. You don't insert any air inside by using a grinder. Pretty much every time you cut a tack, you gotta wait a little bit to purge all that oxygen you put from your grinder. This way it's just more efficient and a little less time consuming. So the same idea on the bottom, preheat, and I'm gonna feed from the top. This is a back feed here on the bottom. Pretty much on a small diameter is always feed from the top, or like from 10 o'clock, it depends from which side you are, like 2-3 o'clock one side, or 9 to 10 o'clock on the other side. Feed from the top. It's like a back feed technique. Keep that rod in a puddle. Stretch that puddle side to side. I like heavier wall. Fits your cup inside perfect. You can wiggle. You can walk the cup inside the root, or you can freehand, whatever it's easier for you. Okay, now all those welds in between tacks are done. Now I'm gonna cut the tacks out. This is the root. Looks nice. Looks good. Good purge, no any discoloration on the root. That means that number 30, that magic number for purge, works good. and I highly recommend it. Temperature, heat input. Okay, now once you cut all those tacks, grind stop starts, so you got nice smooth. You feather out all those stop starts, so you can have nice start and stop, and let it purge for 5 to 10 minutes. It depends from the length of your spool or diameter. And the same idea, preheat. Once you start melting, add a rod and try to keep that rod. Usually what I do, I always try to keep my rod inside all the way up to the, let's say around 11 o'clock. Then I switch from the outside and start feeding rod side to side, just like a dipping technique. The amps I was using here, as shown on beginning, it was 109 or 105 amps. You can go lower. I just like the feather edges. I can see my edges there, just they are burning. You wash those edges and you can see clearly. As I said, on the top I switch to dipping technique, and for the tie-in I like to pause right before the tie-in, pause a little bit, add rod as needed, and just go over maybe ½ inch or so. And that's it pretty much. So in this case it's they do empty on the root pass from the outside, so I just grab a grinder, especially if you got a scratch start, then you know, just in case if you don't insert any tip of your tungsten and stuff like that later, it might show on a X-ray. You can just run a grinder just a little bit on the surface, not a big deal. Or even buffing wheel works good too. Okay, so for the hot pass, 120, 130 amps. This is 332 rod. This is the best part of the welding hot pass usually, especially when you got nice and wide bevel, heavy wall, then you can really stretch and play with that puddle. It's pretty much simple, guys. Keep that rod 10-15 degrees, you know, in that puddle. Inclination of your tungsten is important as well. You know, that's how you stretch puddle. You point at tip of your tungsten. That's what melts the rod. And then you stretch that puddle. You washing sides, side to side motion. You don't want to lift too much up and then just burns your rod, you know, and then every time you lose that connection from your puddle, then you got to reconnect, and all depends from the material. Then you get any impurities and stuff like that. Like in any other pipe that's in a code, guys, the pipe should be clean. That's one of the most important thing, beside the gap and the bevel. Okay, same thing for the fill. I'm just gonna go one pass, side to side. I'll just run one pass here on this spool as much as I can. I'm gonna do my fill with one pass fill side to side. Now I switch to 1/8 rod, 150 amps. I got lots of questions about the amps, what you guys should do on a hot pass. It all depends how much you can handle, guys. Hot pass, it doesn't mean you got to go really hot. The hot pass is just a term used for 7018 after 6010 route to burn all those slag and that leftovers from 6010. But a hot pass, it is recommended to go a little bit hotter. You know, just if you got like some little pinholes and this and that, you know, especially, it all depends from the material, guys. But as I said, go how much you can handle. You don't have to go 120 or 130 or 150. As long as it looks nice, nice and smooth, proper steps, yeah, it should be fine. Okay, this is the first pass of fill. He's gonna run a buffing wheel. Now I'm gonna do third pass, same thing. One bead, side to side. I'll just try to go with one bead to try to fill. Later I'm gonna switch to probably cup size 10 or even 12, so you can have a wider bead as well. But as long as you have a nice and clean base for each pass and a good heat, and it's just gonna melt your rod and just leave you pretty much only using buffing wheel to clean each pass. No use of grinder, no needed, except maybe for the stops. And with this material, like just the way of you guys show nice in colors. It all you can see that's a little bit hot, but it's inside the weld zone. It's not the outside on a pipe, which is good. Okay, now almost close to filter flush. Now I'm gonna switch on the two beads, two weld beads on one on each side, overlapping 50% of each. The idea is just to cover and make a nice and smooth filter flush without any holes in the middle. Filter flush, just go over up to that edge, try to make nice and smooth, and try to overlap with that first bead you did. Okay, that's it pretty much. Filter flush. I might run actually one in the middle, and I did run one in the middle, and now this is the first pass of cap. I'll go with a 3-pass cap on this pipe. Like always, first pass, try to have equal steps on the side. Try to maintain that to have a straight edge. Keep an eye on the same width of your steps. That's it for the first pass. Now I'm gonna go with the second pass. I'm overlapping here 50% of my first pass, and going on the other side, leaving enough room for the third pass. You can always use a calculation how many beads you're gonna put on a cap. Depends how wide is your bevel. But like for the bigger, I know guys, some guys go like 2-pass cap, a little bit wider steps. I just like have nice and tight everything. I like having tight steps on my cap. And 3-pass should be good enough for this diameter. Okay, this is second pass done. And now we're gonna do the third pass and the final pass. As I said always, and I'm gonna repeat always, this is the cherry on the top. The third pass is the most crucial one. It's pretty much important, same as the first one. It covers that straight edge on a pipe. But second pass covers all, you know, if you got any misstep on the first pass. The third pass covers the second pass, but the third pass try to maintain the same width on both sides. Try to have that straight edge, and this is what makes your weld looks really nice at the end when it's done. That's what shows your how focused you are with your welding and your control, arc and puddle control. And that's it pretty much. This is a 3-pass cap. Now the later is PMI test, FT test, and X-ray test. As I said, guys, try to implement those steps. You know, try to weld in between tacks and then cut the tacks last. And then you got only one time use grinder, finish all tacks, grind all the stop starts, and let it purge 10-15 minutes, depends from diameter, and that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next one. Take care.